From ugliest-looking fish to massive-sized sea creatures, these are some of the most mysterious creatures pulled up by the fishing boats that left scientists speechless. These fishermen are the real pros at their job. Just see how the guy is pulling out the fishing rope he's placed, but you won't believe what he has actually caught. At first, you can see tentacles emerging out of the water, as if he's actually caught Cthulhu. But then, its entire body also emerges. It turns out, this creature is none other than a squid, and it's definitely no typical species, but rather one of the most massive breeds that exist on our planet. Just look at its sheer size. It must weigh several kilograms. This group of fishermen has caught something way bigger than they were hoping for. You can see how their fishing line is barely holding up. The group believes that the creature that got caught on the hook might actually be a sawfish, which is one of the most endangered species on our planet. So catching such a fish is kind of a risky move, as it needs to be handled very carefully, or else it might get you in trouble for breaking laws. Now this video is very creepy. Just what in the actual hell is this creature lurking beneath the water? It's clearly a fish if you only look at its body, but when it comes to its face, it looks way too human. Imagine walking across the shore, only to see a massive balloon floating over the water, just like the one in this video. Well, what may seem like a gigantic balloon is actually the carcass of a whale that has been inflated with air thanks to all the pressure building inside. It's basically a time bomb that would explode and send all its guts flying in the air. The locals where this carcass is located are devastated by the smell, and if it explodes, things will only get much worse and smelly. Remember when I said that squid might be the largest one on our planet? Well, I take my words back because this one is absolutely colossal. The creature you see in this video is no less horrifying than the concept of an alien with massive tentacles. But this time, instead of being fiction, it's all real, and this gigantic squid is called bigfin or magnapinna. It's a deep-sea creature that is not only bizarre, but also one of the most interesting to have been found. Only a few rare sightings through underwater drones have been able to prove its existence. As you can see, it has long tentacles that allow it to exceed the length of a whopping 26 feet or about 8 meters. Moreover, they're generally not aggressive, but when they do get angry, it's better to escape their sight as soon as possible. There's a saying that the deeper you go in the sea, the weirder the creature starts to get, and it's definitely true. Just take a look at this thing, which, accept it or not, is actually a living creature. The drone that captured this video is quite near the ocean floor, which is roughly 3,700 feet in the Indian Ocean. Anglerfish are undoubtedly one of the ugliest and most terrifying sea creatures to ever exist. Their massive mouth is more than enough to make you run for your life once you see one up close. But this will happen only if you see an adult anglerfish. Things are a bit different if you encounter a baby version, just like this man. He found this baby angler after a shore dive in the north of the Isle of Skye. Instead of wearing gloves, he picked it up with his bare hands. No doubt, even as a baby, it's no less ugly and has quite a massive mouth equipped with sharp fangs that can easily harm you if you're not careful. The twilight zone of the ocean is home to one of the most fascinating creatures on our planet. The deeper the scientists go into these dark waters, the more they find creatures like this, known as the Barilai fish. What an absolutely intriguing creature. It features a body like a normal fish, but the front is completely transparent, making it almost seem similar to a submarine. These fish have a fluid-filled, transparent, dome-shaped head, and that fluid is the only thing that protects their eyes under great pressure in such depths. To find this fish, you have to go almost 4,000 feet below the surface, where sunlight is impossible to reach. This is also why such strange creatures thrive here. If you think the last one was crazy, take a look at this footage captured by scientists in the Gulf of Mexico. In the video, you can see a very strange, ghost-like creature that is quite similar to a jellyfish, but much darker and more beautiful. This is one of the very first footage of these species to be found in the region, which ultimately makes it one of the most important things for scientists to research. Later, in 2021, the same species was once again caught by an underwater drone, this time with even more advanced video quality that did justice to its ghostly appearance. This jellyfish is now known as the phantom jelly, thriving at a depth of 3,200 feet in Monterey Bay. For some, it might be a terrifying creature, but for people like me, it's a stunning dance of silk. Now this one is even weirder. It's ugly, it's terrifying, and something you will see in your nightmares. Well, all jokes aside, this heinous-looking fish is actually called a smooth lumpsucker. It was caught around the northern part of the Pacific Ocean by a fisherman named Roman Fedortsov, who was intrigued by its blob-like appearance and couldn't help but share it online, catching the eyes of millions of people. The fish is around 44 centimeters long and is mostly found in deep waters. I don't know how it got up and ended up in this fisherman's boat. With a head so big, this fish must have known all the secrets of the cosmos. Here's yet another rare footage, in fact, one of the only footage of this rare species of fish known as the Fang tooth, with only a few specimens in the hands of marine scientists. It's also one of those species, like anglerfish, known for its grotesque appearance and adaptation to extreme depths despite being very small. But being small doesn't mean they are not dangerous. In fact, they are considered to have the largest teeth-to-body size ratio of any fish, making it even harder to close their mouth completely. Thanks to that, it can use its fangs to catch a much larger prey than itself. Moreover, it can easily camouflage itself as its body absorbs 99.5% of light, making it an assassin who lurks in the dark. This diver is extremely lucky and risky at the same time when he encounters one of the rarest and most dangerous sea creatures on our planet and decides to approach it to get a better look at it. This is yet another deep-sea creature known as the cartilaginous fish or spotted ratfish, belonging to the Chimaeridae family. This particular species is known to be a relative of both sharks and rays and is known to have existed for over 400 million years. As you can see in the video, these species are completely scaleless and covered with white spots, which is why they look so shiny and ghostly. When it comes to its facial features, they have duck-like snouts with dark eyes that specifically allow them to navigate in deep, dark waters. But here's the most interesting feature: their dorsal fin, which contains a venomous spine for defense purposes. Its venom might not be enough to kill a human, but it can easily kill other sea predators. Imagine being so lucky that you win a lottery not once, but twice in a row. Just like this fisherman who was catching lobsters off the Maine coast. But as he was busy doing his everyday job of catching lobsters, he caught something that scientists call 1 in 100 million chance. A white lobster, aka the albino lobster, is one of the rarest lobsters to ever exist. And this fisherman caught one and soon after caught another. Now he has 2 jackpots that even he didn't know how much they are worth among the scientific community. Thankfully, he didn't decide to keep them for himself and cook them up for dinner. Rather, he immediately brought them to Owl's Head Lobster Company in Owl's Head. Abandoned fishing nets are dangerous hazards for sea animals, especially massive and rare creatures like whales, which are already on the verge of extinction. They get entangled in these nets and eventually die, as they can't escape without the help of humans. Thankfully, there was help for this whale as the divers immediately went in for the rescue. The tail of this whale was completely entangled, and it took quite an effort for the divers to cut it off. Luckily, the whale remained calm throughout the process until it was finally freed from the net. A sad moment indeed, as there won't always be help for these speechless creatures. Now, this is quite fascinating, as this family was fishing on a boat in Florida and caught a 5-foot shark. As they struggled to get it on board, something much bigger and more terrifying emerged from the waters. Well, that was none other than the infamous Goliath grouper, who came to the surface and swallowed the entire shark in one bite. These species are known to be quite massive, but this particular one probably weighs around 500 pounds. It's said that a fully grown Goliath grouper can easily eat an entire human. And I guess this video proves the rumors, as they can easily devour a full-size shark. You're pretty quick to judge if you think a Goliath grouper is large. Check out this one caught by this fisherman on the Spanish coast. It's a sunfish and requires a small crane to even lift it. It's by far one of the most strange-looking creatures in this video, especially because of how bizarrely big it is, almost making it look pretty fake, or like an alien spaceship. The fisherman shifted the massive fish to another boat so the biologists and experts could take measurements of it. It's worth noting that this sunfish was so heavy that it nearly broke the weighing scale, which could measure up to 1,000 kilos. These fishermen were only hunting for tuna, but instead, they found this massive beast now. That's some fascinating luck, isn't it? Imagine being so ugly that they name you Goblin, and this shark totally deserves the name. This specimen was found off Taiwan's northeast coast, and it's by far one of the largest and heaviest goblin sharks to be found in the region, weighing approximately 800 kilograms. It was such a rare find that the fishermen sold this ugly-looking beast to the museum to be displayed to the public. Considering that the fishermen had initially thought to sell this shark to a restaurant, it makes me wonder who is brave enough to eat this monster. Whale sharks might be considered sharks, but they're by far one of the most peaceful sea creatures to ever exist. And it's very sad to see how many of them are endangered because they get caught in abandoned fishing nets like these ones. Thankfully, these divers help them by cutting off the ropes and nets that entangle them, setting them free from their misery. Such acts should be carried out more often than on coincidental occasions, or else many of these rare creatures would completely go extinct. This group is an absolute legend, as they quickly went to a beachside once they were informed about a humpback whale that washed ashore at the south of Walvis Bay. Once they reached the shore, they found the helpless creature washed ashore, unable to get back in the water. The group and the team of rescuers used their equipment to get the whale back in the water without injuring it in any way. It was no easy task, as it took a literal 4 hours to get the whale back in the water. It's fascinating how throughout the entire process, the whale kind of remained lifeless. It seemed like it tried to save its strength until the moment when it was needed the most. Lucky for the whale, these kind people came to the rescue and sent it back to the waters where it belonged. Creatures of the deep just keep on getting creepy, like this one, known as the basket star. They mainly belong to the seaborder Euryalina within the class Ophiuroidea, featuring intricately branched arms, which many say resemble tangled baskets. They are mostly found in deep and cold waters, and watching them eat is one of the most intriguing aspects of them, like the one shown in this video. They slowly move their branch-like arms and consume the food. They're undoubtedly one of the most complex creatures in the world, and one of the few that can fully regenerate when their arms are chopped off or damaged. Basket stars are no less creepy than parasites, aren't they? Sea cucumbers are known to be quite an interesting creature, but do you know what's even more intriguing? Well, that's a snake sea cucumber, which is known to be the longest among its species and is capable of growing up to a length of 10 feet. They're mostly found in shallow waters of the tropical Indo-Pacific Ocean and are known to be one of the most important creatures that play a significant role in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. The snake sea cucumbers are quite different from other species, as they're much longer, slender, and have tentacles surrounding the mouth. It uses these tentacles to collect the food, which is mainly organic material, and quickly sends it straight to the mouth and consumes it. These are truly fascinating and are among the most studied creatures in marine biology. This is one of those videos that quickly went viral and confused most of the world. Well, just so you won't get confused this time, I'll let you know that this lobster-like creature is actually known as a crayfish, the only one that you can find outside of water. These creatures are known to make nests in mud, and many people can even find them in their background. Some even harvest them during the season and eat them, as they're considered one of the most delicious delicacies in the world. In cartoons, we've seen how a pufferfish becomes a literal balloon within seconds, but have you ever seen that happen in real life? Well, if you haven't, like me, here's the video. This fisherman caught this pufferfish with a net. Initially, it looked quite similar to a normal fish, but then suddenly its defense mechanism kicked in and it started to inflate. Within seconds, it puffed into a massive balloon and started floating by itself on the water. Someone can easily mistake it for a very spiky ball, but touching it barehanded won't be a good idea. It's one of the few fish known to possess highly dangerous venom that can easily kill you. We can all agree on the fact that spiders are creepy and they make your skin crawl. But did you know that even in the ocean, they do exist? At least something similar does. Well, I'm talking about this creature in this lady's hand. It is known as a sea spider, or should I say, the giant sea spider. These spiders also feature 8 legs, but are not venomous at all. In fact, they mostly thrive in great depths of about 7,000 meters and consume mostly soft-bodied invertebrates. By inserting their proboscis in the prey, they can easily suck out nutrients, making them more of a parasite than a predator. These spiders can easily grow up to 2.3 feet in length, and they can easily cover your face if you are brave enough to place it upon yourself. Holy smoke! Now that's one big fat goldfish which ain't fitting in any fish tank. This angler caught this goldfish at Blue Water Lakes in Champagne, France, and it's officially the largest one ever found. Weighing over 30 kilograms, the goldfish is given the name the carrot due to its orange color. It was put in this lake nearly 20 years ago, and since then, it has become quite a legend for the fishermen as it has gotten so big, mainly because it was a hybrid of leather carp and koi. Now that you've seen a massive goldfish, here's another massive fish. As you can see, he struggles to get the catch on board, but after a few minutes, he finally manages to take it out of the water. At first, it seems like a black alien-like creature, like the Hook Island sea monster. But once fully out, it turns out that it's nothing but a massive catfish. The men celebrate after getting it on board, the fish that definitely weighs about 400 kilograms or even more. These people on the boat are totally confused, and that's totally justified because someone needs to explain what this thing is lurking in the water. These people were making a video in loft foil when supposedly a strange creature seen in the video went past them. At first, they thought it might be a whale, but the man on the other boat, who was much closer to the creature, confirmed that it was no such thing, but rather something bizarre and had never before been seen. Is this another one of the Loch Ness Monster? But this time, it's a loft foil version. This video from an underwater drone about 4,000 feet below the surface in the Gulf of Mexico confirms that aliens do exist. Just look at this weird organism lurking deep within the water. It's clearly no jellyfish, and it looks way too different. The strange pattern of lines makes its way to otherworldly, catching no resemblance to any of the weirdest sea creatures ever discovered. So, what do you think it is? Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.